Hi YouTube, I haven't done one of these for a while, so yeah, energy reading, man. Where do I start? Okay, so for a while I've been going on about astrology and how to move forward with it, because it's been kind of stressing me out because I don't really know. Well, I don't know what to do about the predictive stuff because I don't feel comfortable with it anymore. Anyway, I came across a video, because videos always come when they're supposed to come, and yes, so the right video came at the right time, and it was JCK, who's a psychic, talking to Mark Bayeske. Sorry Mark, if you ever listen to this. But he's from Yorkshire, so he's got a really nice Yorkshire accent. And I can't say his name without going Mark Bayeske. Anyway, he's just brilliant. I love him. I love JCK as well. She's from Australia. So they're both really down-to-earth people. They were talking about having to be very, setting boundaries about who you have as clients, and doing readings, and how, like, she was saying that the one-to-ones, that she was going to reduce them because she found them, she got ill. She basically, she sounds like she had COVID, but she says it was a seasonal detox. I would have said that a few years ago, but when I got COVID, it fucking was, sorry to swear, but it was that. I've never been so ill in my life, so I do think it's a thing. It's a thing. So I'm not going to call it a seasonal detox, because what the heck was that? Anyway, so it sounds like she had it, but it is a build-up. It is to do with parasites, and I think it is to do with, when you get these things, it's a warning to just stop opening yourself up to the universe and to the eighth sphere or to other dimensions, because you're overloaded with other people's stuff. And that's the thing. You just get overloaded. And I came to the conclusion as well. One of the things they were saying was she wanted to stop predictions because it was attracting people who really want you to answer questions for them. And when that happens, is that they're looking outside of themselves. They're not tapping into their own intuition about what to do. And then that's what I kind of thought about astrology as well. It's like, it really is. And I've said this before, like, Saturn is not to blame for your problems. It's a meaningful coincidence. And if you start blaming external things, you're never going to really sort out your life. And I know I've said this before about it being a co-creation type thing, and it kind of is, but the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking, when I do readings, and I look at transits, but those are the planets really doing that, or they're like bird omens? If I look up in the sky and I see two birds and I'm thinking of something, and that's a good omen. Two doves or something. I'm thinking of love, and there's two doves and they're kissing. It's like, all right, the universe told me that's a good thing. So when I think how it works with astrology is they are like tarot cards. And when someone comes from for a reading, there's always some transit going along that really fits their situation. And if it doesn't, then it's like, well, that's not happening then. I don't know. It's do you know what I mean? So it's like, there's always something. And so then I thought, well, maybe they're being guided to you. It's a kind of synchronicity where it's like an orrery. It's like you're answering a question with the reading. And oftentimes as well, I've done readings where the time was wrong. Like it was, they gave me AM instead of PM, or something had gone wrong with the time, yet the reading was still accurate. And I always find it really difficult to do the reading again. So then I do the reading again and I think, well, it's actually saying exactly the same things I already said. So then I'm thinking, is it the planets or is it just me? Am I just, am I a psychic? Well, I guess I am. Because people have said, well, how did you, it was uncanny and da-da-da. And I think, well, it can't just be the planets. And then if it is that is the reason that you, as an astrologer, get knackered. Because it is similar to being a medium, or a psychic, because you are tapping into other realms when you do these readings. So I'm thinking, when I do a reading, and you open up the chart, it unlocks something. It's like that person who has contacted you has given permission for you to unlock their charts, to go into a different dimension. And possibly I'm wondering whether their ancestors or their spirit guides sort of give me send messages to them through me. So it basically does open up a portal, and that's the thing. And when you do that, you're exposed. When you open these doors to those dimensions, you are letting stuff in. If a door opens into something, it also is opening up portals to you. And if you do too many readings, each time you open that door, it opens. There's the opportunity for not just nice entities to come in, but trickster ones as well, parasitical ones. So that's why I think that people who work in these in spiritual circles, a lot of them burn out because they're getting too many entities, too many parasites coming through, because they're always they have not set boundaries. Their doors are always open, So it is. Then it gets to the point where you think, well, I physically cannot do readings. And to me, it's got to the point where I have at the moment one friend who's going through a lot of crap in her life, and I have not got the energy to sort those problems out for her, or to help her with those problems, because she's been also asking me about, to look at the transits, and I just said, well, these transits are not going to help. They're not, because I don't want to get into a personal thing, but the point is that you find it hard to help other people at that point, because you're so drained that you cannot deal with anybody else's problems, and you feel really bad for it. But I just cannot. The thought of somebody else's problems with their exes or whatever it just makes me feel, I can't. I want to shut down. And so that's the thing. So when you work as a healer in any sort of form, whether it's psychic healing, whether it's astrology, whether it's tarot reading, whatever it is, you are tapping into people's problems, because people come to you with their problems, and they're looking to you for a solution, and they're looking to you for some good news, some copium, if you like. And and that's why a lot of YouTubers were very successful, who were giving us the copium. So yes, and I wanted to talk about that too as well, because JC, and she's talked about this as well, that she got very into the whole Q thing in the beginning, and that's how I got to know her. And I listened to Simon Parkes and all these people, but when it got to the point when there was the inauguration of Biden, and they were saying, oh no, Trump's still president. He's still doing stuff, and you'll see something happen at the inauguration that you'll see it's a hologram and it's all a pretense, and then all this utter bullshit. And that's when I knew. I just thought, oh, for God, now you're taking it too far. You haven't accepted that he didn't win. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But they were still going on about it, that it was happening. like the Sam's, what is that thing that they scenario and the money's going to come and all the, anyway, so after that I just stopped listening to her, because I just thought, God, why are all these psychics so into this samsara and ascension and all this stuff? Just, again, it's looking outside for someone to bloody save you. Again, if it's not Trump, it's the Pleiadians, and if it's not them, it's the fucking trees, it's the ringing cedars, it's someone. Oh, here, trees, give me the answer. Bugger all. Anyway, no. No, it's in you. You know, it's in us. It's in each and every one of us. But we are so bloody trying to listen to things outside that we don't listen to ourselves. And that's why I love the whole thing about kinesiology as well. You know, I've been to a kinesiologist, and your body tells you. And I think also ancestral memory comes from your blood. It's in here. So when you want to tap into your ancestors, they're always there. They're in you. They're running. They're coursing through your veins. They're there. You don't have to kind of, you know, summon them with a Ouija board or a pendulum or whatever it is. You don't have to summon them, because they live and breathe within you. They're in your freaking cells. So that's why. And now, where does this leave me with astrology? Because it's like, oh God, what am I going to do? No, I still do readings, and I do enjoy them as well. And I think now, because, you know, I can sense what's right for people, and I think, well, not that I can sense what's right for the people. I'm only confirming what they already know themselves. It's just giving them permission to trust themselves. And my job is to say, you know, trust yourself. And to underline it a million times. So it is every time I do, it's a psychic kind of connection, and that's why I don't do so many of them. And then I attract really nice clients. I've had clients for like 10 years that still come back to me, and I love working with them, because obviously I think it works. The connection is so strong with them that I do have a good connection to their higher self, my higher self, their higher self that joins. We are sort of soulmates. So the readings that I do the best, that are the best, are the ones with people I consider soulmates, who get in touch with me, and I resonate. You know, you could be watching me now and saying, you know, you might recognise me, and then I get a feeling when I get your email. That's why I asked for a photo, because then there are people I think, yeah, I know you, or we were in Egypt together, or so, maybe, I don't, whatever, you know, or Greece, I don't know, but you know, I will feel a connection, and then that's why they work. That's why the readings are accurate. I don't think it's so much to do with external mechanics. But saying all that, there is a mechanics of the universe, I think, that I think astrology is the part of the matrix code, which is why you have to be quite careful with it. Because if you want to be the sovereign of your own life, you can't keep, I mean, this is the whole point of like paying too much attention to transits. You can't live by your transits every day. I never look at my transits. I think they're very good in retrospect, because they will have something to teach you. Like say, I don't know, you had an accident in the car, and then you go back and say, I wonder what transits were like on that day. That works like a kind of, what's the word? A meaningful coincidence, and you'll go, oh my God, it was to do with my mother because Sarah's was square my moon, or whatever. You know, there'll be a meaning there. And it's like it works retrospectively. I think it's really interesting, and for that reason, I really like doing event charts as well, because it's meaningful coincidence. But I don't like electoral astrology, where you get married at a certain time because the chart is really good and you can have speaker rising. I don't know. I don't really go for that. So and also people were asking me to look at Nicola Bulley's chart. I don't really want to do that. And that's the thing. I mean, he did used to do this in the past. And again, I think that builds up dodgy karma, where you're unlocking people's souls or portals without their permission, really. That's why I did the chart for when she was found, because that's an event. Again, it's an event chart. It's like me asking a question about the general situation. But to look at celebrities' charts now, I was going to do Madonna, and then I was thinking, I don't know if I want to open up her energy, to be honest. Now, the thing is, what is kind of useful, though, is all these actors in the world, like Madonna, like Biden, whoever it is, they are playing roles, they are playing archetypes. And when I've noticed, when I'm doing my research, and I look up Mars square Uranus, you can do, there's a website that you can find all the celebrities who have that, pardon me, who have that aspect. And then you have a list, and you can see a pattern in the list. Like it speaks to you of a certain enemy. Ooh, that's a weird Freudian slip. Of a certain energy that sort of is true. I don't know, that sort of is common to all of them. And you think, I see that. So, and so those archetypes are true. There are these archetypes, we recognise Pluto. We recognise Pluto in a person. Like someone will have a very heavy Pluto energy, or 8th house energy, or Scorpio energy. There are various ways that these archetypes come out. It's not just, there's like an alphabet of it. They call it the alphabet, don't they? So, 8th house Scorpio, Pluto, Mars in water sign type thing. So I love writing about those, because then it's in print. You can see the archetype clearly, and what goes with those archetypes is a certain mode of behaviour, and it's a lesson also to be learnt. So when, if you have that configuration in your chart, and it's showing a sort of roadmap of when that gets pinged by a transit outside, maybe the meaningful coincidence with that, if you come to me for a reading and your Mars square Uranus is being pinged by, I don't know, Mars, usually it's Mars, or Venus, or whatever it is, it will describe something that you're going through, some lesson that you're learning, but it's, people see, this is what I used to do. Was like, people would say, when's it going to end, and I'd say, oh well, this, and I want to give them good news, so I'll say to them, well, it ends, that transit ends in the middle of April, so in a few months' time or whatever, and then it'll all be great. That's what people want to hear. But one of the friends, I was looking at her transits because she was going through this crap time. The bad transits have ended, but it's still going on. And then I started noticing that these bad things are not ending with the transits for some people. So they're just not learning their lesson, or it's just a not unmeaningful coincidence, And I've looked at my own transits as well, and to be honest, I don't know if there has been something I could say, oh yeah, that really was Pluto. Maybe I'm saying all this, I'm in complete denial, because Pluto's about to go through all my stellium. But if I'm still alive by the end of it, I'll say I was bloody right, that it's bollocks and Pluto doesn't do bugger all. But if I'm like a complete wreck by the end of it, you'll know I was wrong. Anyway, well, I've had Saturn go through it all, haven't I? So And that's, I suppose it has kind of meaningfully, coincidentally given me a reality check. And yes. And I have to say also that I did get astrology. I did start doing astrology when, Neptune, Chiron and Jupiter were on my Mars. And I did marry an astrologer at that time. But I see, then I think at that time I was very much influenced by the Matrix, and I think once you see it for what it is, it stops being an influence. And I've been saying this for years, transcend your transits. The more you are affected by them, the more you are a victim of the freaking Matrix. That's what it is. And so I think that's why I think people who say you don't believe in astrology at all, they probably don't get affected by it, because they're not thinking, oh my God, Saturn. They're not, and they'll just do things regardless. It's also similar to, I think, some people have got a very, very thick skin and they can get through anything, but they're also not very sensitive. And I think the problem with people, well, all of us, and myself included, is people who are into astrology are sensitive to the energies around them, and they are trying to make sense of what they're trying to read the energy and thinking, why is it so icky at the moment, and why is this happening? So then they look at the astrology to see, if it makes sense. And when they look at it, it probably does, because it's a meaningful coincidence and the universe is speaking to us. So that's what makes us think, the planets do have some control. But they don't, because that's like saying when you pick up a tarot card, when you do the tarot card, that they're also controlling you. I know the thing is with planets, you can actually see that they do physically move in the sky, or are they going in circles? Or are we, I don't even know whether we're a bloody globe or a flat thing anymore. I don't know. Anyway, but the thing is, we don't freaking know unless we've been to the freaking moon. I do think it's a luminary, by the way. I think it shines. I don't think it's just a rock. Otherwise, the ancients wouldn't have called it a luminary. Anyway. That's another thing. The moon. Anyway, so... Oh, God, there's just so many things. And I'm thinking about the trap. And I don't believe it's a trap either, by the way. But... what else can I say? 22 minutes. Have I ranted enough? Okay, I think I was being a little bit too flippant there. I mean, I do feel like, here I am walking around in nature and the birds are singing, and I probably am getting some sort of inspiration by being in it. But I'm just such a skeptic about these things. It's just blame my Saturnian nature. Just a Saturn introvert, and I just get very annoyed. Grumpy at times. I haven't had enough sleep. I've been obsessive with my watercolour paintings at the moment. Anyway, and what I did also want to say is that when you are dealing with the occult, when you are someone who's a healer, when you're doing readings and you're tapping into other dimensions that are not physical, it is a very night yin kind of, it's a yin experience, isn't it? And when you have too much yin, it's like no sunlight. You're just getting moldy, and you're getting parasites. You're attracting more and more parasites because you're just too open, and then there's like stagnant energy as well. I mean, that's what I was going to talk about. Feeding the Loosh. So, going back to the Nicola Bulley thing, that was very much feeding the Loosh, and I got very obsessed with that, and I was going to go back and do more, and I thought no, because you get a little bit addicted to the fact that I go do YouTube and I don't really get like high views anymore like I used to, and so when that one got went a bit more viral, not viral really, but than my usual views, I was like, you kind of like There's something in you that likes the attention. It's like, oh, I'm going to do more, craving the like. So, do another one, and that got more as well. But then I just thought, they want me to do that. They're rewarding me for doing that because it's feeding them. Everyone gets into they get obsessive, and when you get, obsessive, there's a good obsession. Like I think my obsession with watercolor painting is a good one, because it's me being creative. But there is that obsession, that craving to be fed information to solve this riddle that is insolvable, because you will never know. We'll never know. So I don't want to be, again, fueling this kind of like argument where people are saying, no, it's obvious she fell in the river, blah, blah, blah. And then these other people saying, no, she was having whatever, there's some affairs going on, or it's her husband, or whatever it is, and then there's like battles between that, and there's like dramas with that. And there's lots of Loosh. There's a feeding frenzy at the moment, because it just made me laugh. Here we are coming up to, happy Equinox. And there's always something weird that happens around this time. And I think, again, it's a feeding. There's a feeding frenzy that goes on at this time. So I had a look through Twitter, and it's like, I'm blissfully unaware of all these things until I go onto Twitter, and then it's just a loose fiesta of Putin's got a warrant for his arrest. It's like, oh, for God's sake, ridiculous. And the next thing is Trump's going to be arrested on Tuesday. What's that? Today or tomorrow? No, tomorrow. So again, it's all feeding people. It's feeding everyone, going, we'll have to do a video about this, and everyone wants to know what's going to happen. Is he going to get arrested? All this is just, who cares? I really am beyond caring now. It's getting to be a ridiculous joke. The arrest Putin thing. I just think, can they really? All right, here I am feeding it a little bit, but it's like, if it was that simple, couldn't they just have arrested Hitler instead of going to war? Let's just arrest the baddies and be done with it. But no, it's just really, really weird. Like, because suddenly there's this kind of like global police force that can suddenly just arrest people. Oh, who knew? Couldn't they have just done the same with quite a few people that they went to war with and saved all the trouble? Or why didn't they just do that in the first place before this? Anyway, call me an ignoramus. I'm just a stupid artist. But it's just silly. Everything is just silly, and so you just have to laugh, really. So yeah, that's really it. If you want, let's chill now. If you want to come and have a reading, if I resonate with you, if you want some down to earth, humorous take on your problems, come to me, and I will tap into your ancestors. No, I won't. I will do. Oh God, I'm not very good at selling myself, am I? Anyway, be rest assured. Okay, here we are. I don't do tons of readings, so you're not on a conveyor belt where I'm just banging them out. That's ridiculous. That is like, I was going to say, doing a reading for someone is like having sex with them. Well, it's not, but it is, because like it's the same principle. Like you have to think of it this way: if you have sex with two different people every week, you're getting so much energy, weird stuff going into you, and it should be seen as the same thing. That's how I see it. So you have to be very selective with who you do readings for, and I do kind of trust, because I'm putting these videos out and sort of I'm telling the world, even though not everyone will see these videos, but I've made this intention now, haven't I? Sorry, I'm a bit runny nose. I'm putting that, sort of saying, oh, this is me. I don't care anymore. I'm not editing myself anymore. if you don't like it, I'm not. It doesn't matter, because then I won't be right for you anyway. So I'll just get people who I hope, who the sort of people I like, which are people like Mike Boyeski, and also JCK, because she does rants, and she's very. I think she's very genuine, you know. And she makes mistakes, and she says, "Yeah, I was wrong," and you know, it's. I like people who make mistakes and are honest about them, and are a bit clumsy, you know, because that's human. You know, it's human to have flaws and not be perfect and not be airbrushed and have missing teeth and whatever. It's human. So that's just the way it is. And they want you to be AI, and they want you to be all kind of, you know, that weird cat face, the cat face filter, where you have huge lips and a tiny nose and triangular head. They just want that. So my instincts are always to go against that. All right then. So thanks for bearing with me, where I'm a little bit sleep deprived and a bit deranged. But I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm doing art, and I'm doing what I want to be doing. And yeah, and it's not sunny, but it will be. Spring is on its way, because all right, let's end it with, look at these beautiful blossoms. So there you go. It's that profile picture. Okay, spring. Ta-da! Spring equinox. Ta-da!